Welcome to My Hometown, the program that explores clubs, organizations, businesses, and issues across Nassau and Suffolk counties and sheds light on the different towns that are making a difference.
Hello, and welcome to My Hometown. I'm Bill Horan, along with my co-host, Nassau Community College student, Matt Leonard.
Today, you're going to meet Long Island resident E.V.A. Casale, who is an ultramarathon runner who has run long distances consecutively for days. She has taken her gift of running and is using it to make a difference for veterans through her organization, Team E.V.A. E.V.A., which stands for Every Veteran Appreciated, which raises funds and awareness for our troops, our veterans, and our fallen heroes.
I love everything about this, so let's not waste any time as we start a 30-minute marathon by welcoming E.V.A. Casale to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College 90.3 WHPC. Welcome, E.V.A.
Thank you both. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Matt.
Now, Matt said you run long distances consecutively for days. What are we really talking about? That's a word a lot of us don't know, ultramarathoner. So can you start out by defining that and tell us about your running?
Sure. An ultramarathoner is someone who runs more than a marathon, which is the distance of 26.2. So most distances over that are ultramarathon, a 50K, 100K, 100-miler, and above.
Can I interrupt you and say, you're saying it so easily, 26.2, 50K. This means miles, right? 26.2 miles, 50 miles, 100 miles. Okay, yes. I just want to make sure because I have trouble walking around the parking lot and you're running this. Okay, go ahead.
If I drive that long, I have to get gas. I can't imagine running that long.
That's why I wanted to find out. I want to make sure we're talking about the same thing. I'm sorry, E.V.A.
By running consecutively, we have an event that we do each year. We've done it for 6 years now to honor our veterans and support our troops and to remember our fallen heroes. So at the end of April every year, we do a 7-day event. It's a marathon or a little bit more each day to remember all those on Long Island who have served our country, our veterans, those heroes that we've lost, and also to support our troops. So each day we run a different 26.2 course somewhere in Nassau or Suffolk County. Along that route, we do stop at what we call points of honor. There are anywhere from 12 to 24 points of honor that we stop at. We will stop at national cemeteries, at rural cemeteries, at the homes of the fallen, at churches, at bridges, many locations. And at each location, we place a single rose or a wreath at these monuments or locations to honor and remember.
So you might run for, did you say 7 days?
7 days.
Oh, my gosh. And as I said, to me, a big parking lot is a challenge. And you're running for 7 days. Matt, you better take over. I'm exhausted already.
Tell us a little bit how you began running. I don't know about Bill. I can't speak for him. But myself, I am very out of shape. I need my asthma inhaler just doing this interview. So tell us how you began running for such long distances.
Many years ago, when I was in high school, I did not run track, but I did play other sports. My dad wanted to lose weight one summer, and he had asked me to come out after it got dark to run around the block with him. And we started to just go a little bit around the block, maybe a quarter of a mile, and then each evening we built it up a little bit. And next thing I knew, I was running for 2 hours. I was just extending it further and further in the neighborhood and down other streets and roads, and I was running for 2 hours. Eventually, my dad did lose the weight that he wanted to, and it was just something I felt that I had a passion for. And from there, I continued on. And then when I was 18, I ran the New York City Marathon was my first marathon when I was 18. And then from there, I realized I just continued on. And at some point, I decided to try and do a little bit more than 26.2. And that's when I started to become a member of the ultra running community.
Now, I'm just thinking, because I have a daughter who does running, and she's basically a marathoner. Are there different classes, like, if you're at an event, do the 50-mile runners hang around together and the ultramarathoners, or do you mix and match? I mean, is it okay? It's like religions. Can you talk to one another? And,
yes, we definitely mix and match. There are ultra runners, do kind of stay together, but we do mix and match. I mean, a runner, we all support each other as a runner.
Now, how do you train for something like this? Because I'm guessing most people, and yourself, are working people. You have a job that takes up 8, 9, or 10 hours a day with transportation and getting back and forth, and just doing the regular things in life, going to the bank and the cleaners and daily things. How was training proceeding?
So preceding this event, the training will start, sometime early in the year, usually in January. In the mornings, I'll go out and run anywhere from like 6 to 9 miles. And then on the weekend, it's important that every weekend leading up to the race, for the first few months before, I run 20 miles every Saturday and Sunday. So it's important that you do that back-to-back training, because that's what 7 days is back-to-back long distances.
You say it's so. She runs 20 miles every Saturday and Sunday. Like in our life, we haven't run together. If we even added them all up, 20 miles.
Probably
and
not.
Eva does this on a Saturday morning. Then she probably goes out and plays tennis, go to the cleaners, the supermarket, and all the things the regular people do.
Yeah, afterwards, you do have to get all the normal, tasks in. So
you love it, and that makes it possible. Matt?
I have to ask, at some point when we all knew the gas prices were way too high, did you just think, forget the car, I can just run everywhere?
No, it's just a passion. I explain it as I have a gift. God gave me this gift to run long distances. And what can I do with this gift? And that's when I came across, Gold Star families, and I heard their stories. And as a runner, I felt maybe there's something I can do to help them. So I put together this event in 2016, and each of the days is for a Gold Star family and their fallen loved one. And that's how I explain it. God gave me this gift. How can I use it to help others? And I use it to bring awareness to all of our veterans here on Long Island and all those who have served our country here and that we've lost, and our heroes. And the importance that it's so important that we always remember them. And that's really why I do it.
For those listening that may not know, what is a Gold Star family?
A Gold Star family is someone that has lost a loved one in combat.
Now, how did Team E.V.A, the team is named after you, which makes sense. If you're going to start a business, you might as well call it Joe's Hot Dogs or E.V.A.'s Beauty Products. How did Team E.V.A come about?
So we had this event that we were doing, and I've used Team E.V.A for other running events that we did, but with this one I just wanted to be different, and it's not really about me, so that's why I decided to make it more of an acronym to stand for Every Veteran Appreciated, because it's a group effort. I'm just one of many who help bring awareness to all those who have served our country.
And let me ask you, was there someone in your family as part of this? Like, what made you running for veterans? I know some people do it for various illnesses, cancer, Alzheimer's, etc. The runners are really good. They not only run those distances, but they turn it into a gift for a charity or the needy. So how come you picked the veterans?
There's a series on Long Island for a veterans running series in Suffolk County, and through that series, I met other Gold Star families, and that's when I realized, what the importance of bringing awareness, and that's when I decided to focus my efforts in this direction.
So you mentioned earlier in the show that Team E.V.A has a yearly marathon around the end of April. Could you tell us more about that, maybe the mission of that particular event?
Yes, the mission is really to support our troops, to honor our veterans, and to remember our heroes. Each day is dedicated to a different part of Long Island and the fallen heroes and all the veterans in that community. We have marathons that are in Huntington, in that area, on the North Shore, in the Glen Cove area, out east in Sag Harbor and Shelter Island, on the South Shore from Valley Stream to Copeg, the middle of the island, and we end at Eisenhower Park, but we start at National Cemetery. We then have one where we are running through Calverton National Cemetery, where we stop at over 30 resting places of the fallen. and we place roses, and then we head over to West Hampton, and we finish there. So every day is a different part of the island. We try to cover as many places as we can. We do change the route sometimes annually to try and reach more areas. But it's so important that we recognize those that have served our country, and we find different areas where there are new memorials or ones that we have not seen, and to make a point of bringing awareness and the neighborhoods, recognizing those neighborhoods that have support them.
You are listening to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Matt Leonard, along with Bill Horan, and today you're meeting Long Island resident E.V.A. Casale, who is an ultramarathon runner who has run long distances consecutively for days. She is the creator of Team E.V.A., that's E.V.A., which stands for Every Veteran Appreciated, which raises funds and awareness for our troops, our veterans, and our fallen heroes.
If there's a little Eva out there, and wasn't that the name of a performer years ago, Little Eva? But if there's a runner, and no, I don't. I mean, someone who wants to emulate you and be like you, how would they find out about? Is there a website they can go to for the team, or information you can give them?
Yes, we do have a website. It's goteameva.org, and on there you can find out about our mission, where we donate our money. You can see information about the upcoming events that we have, and there are many photos about the past events we've done since 2016 and all the places that we stop and all those that we honor.
So it's goteameva.org.
Yes.
Okay. And we'll ask you that again before the end of the show, so if someone didn't get it down, and if they're interested, then you might be just hitting that bell for someone who says, gee, I'm just like her. I would love to do this, love to take part, or maybe even in a perimeter type of work that's needed. Any kind of organization like this takes a lot of organization to get it going, an event, to make sure the people are there. And, we as fans, we just complain that the hot dogs aren't close enough or the orangeade is too warm or too cold. But there's a lot to have, the insurance, the locations, to know that you can do it without interfering with the traffic flow and other events that are going on. So can you tell us what you go through in doing this and what type of organizational abilities you must have?
Yes, I do have some, we do the logistics, and it is a big event that we do need to contact all the municipalities and the towns that we run through to let them know the days we're coming and the approximate times we're going there. We have to notify some of the different locations, like the national cemeteries, to let them know when we're expected to be there. We have different places that we stop. We work with them to make sure they know when we're coming there. And to coordinate. It's a lot of coordination to really make sure it works the way it should, and everyone is aware of what we're doing.
And I would guess, and I don't mean this as a joke, that like people might see you running through a cemetery, and someone else might say, "Isn't that disrespectful? Mm-hmm. They're using this as a track." So they call the police, so the police have to know about it, or the authorities. And I don't know if it applies to this, but I know if you use some fields, you need a license, or you have to get a permit at least to use it Thursday morning or something. Is that something that comes into running?
Yes, we definitely get permission to go to all the locations, all the cemeteries. We work with them to get that permission before we even start that process. We take small groups with us through the cemeteries. There's only a few runners that come with us. We don't have a large group when we do that. We do have to, of course, get insurance, and there are some permits that are needed sometimes, depending on the area that we run through.
So you're actually kind of running a mini company in a way. Am I correct?
Yes. Our organization is a 501c3. So we do raise money and ask for donations for what we do, and we do give those donations to veterans organizations on Long Island. That's how we disperse our funds to those here on Long Island, our veterans.
You have it's such a good act that you're doing, but I'm talking about that you personally, just like running any business, you know, you have the runners who might be the employees, and in a sense, you might be an employee for someone else in the group. Getting the locations, deciding where you're going to run, and should an event go on a particular day if there's a snowstorm or heavy rains or winds, things like this. Is that all up to you?
There's a group of us that are a core group that meet and discuss the routes. They don't change too much. The last couple of years, we've changed a few things and added new stops. We kind of have them set. We pick the week and we just stick to that week in April each year, depending on the weather. We have run in hail, sleet, snow, downpours, nor'easters, nice weather, hot weather, 100-degree weather. So we've had the full spectrum of weather over the years that we've done this, and you know, our mission is to just keep moving forward and do what we need to do. And again, those who serve our country, they can't control the weather wherever they are either. So this is what we do. We think about them when we run, and we just keep moving forward.
Matt and Eva, when Eva was going through the different types of weather, did you see me counting? I got up to 8 fingers. Those are 8 types of weather I barely go out in. Never mind running. If I go to the car, I take an umbrella and I jump in. I'm an old man, and you run in this weather for 20 or 40 or 60 or 100 miles, and you think that's fun. We're getting you in trouble.
Yes,
you know
yes,
that.
I know
We're getting
that.
you in trouble.
It's for a cause,
Yes,
Bill.
it's for a cause, and yes, it's for a good
No,
cause.
you're wonderful to do it. We're just putting you on the spot and having a little fun.
So for someone like me or Bill, or just as the average person, running a marathon on itself, let's say the New York City Marathon, you said it was 26.2 miles. That would be a life achievement doing one of those in itself. You've mentioned several times in this interview you've done 7-day marathons. How would one, more particularly, how would you prepare for a 7-day marathon as opposed to just like a one-shot 26.2 miles? Like, that's nothing, of course.
I think really the training where you do the back-to-back long runs, you know, like on Saturday and Sunday I do a long run. If it's a 3-day weekend, or I can take an extra day off, I'll do 3 days of long runs. And that really prepares you for the, you know, to be running basically on tired legs, is to do back-to-back long runs.
Wow. So the 7-day marathon, how many miles per day average is it about? Is it about a marathon every day?
Yeah, so it's 26.
Wow.
It's either 26.2 anywhere up to 30. There's one day where we do run 30 miles because there are places where we really do want to get to, and we don't limit the distance. We just want to make sure that we remember and honor, and sometimes we just have to add things in to get it done that day. So it's about 184 miles for the week. Sometimes it's a little more and closer to we've had weeks where it's been closer to 200 miles.
Just to me, as someone learning about this and listening, if I was listening right now, I would just think this is like almost a poetic metaphor what you're doing for these veterans. Because if you think about it, what they had to go through when they were overseas or wherever they were stationed, they don't have a choice. If they have to go run, they just got to go run, and they got to go fight and do whatever they got to do. And you guys, what you just said, sometimes you push the distance to get to a certain location. That's just honestly poetic to me. That's just a perfect way to honor their sacrifice.
Thank you, Matt. And then that's how we look at it. We think about those that we run for. And again, you do get tired, and my team gets tired. We all do. And we just remember who the day is for, why we're running it. We remember those who are with us, because sometimes the Gold Star families are with us. And that kind of gives us inspiration and motivation to move forward, and to constantly, remember why we're out there, no matter, what the conditions are or how we feel.
Now, Matt, I'm going to ask one of my embarrassing questions now, okay? So I'll get Eva ready for it.
You're allowed one interview.
Just
Please
one?
Go.
I think I did it already, but I'm going to ask another. Eva, a lot of times at work, does your boss come into your office and does he start off, or does she start off by saying, Eva, wake up? I mean, for all this running, aren't you exhausted? I mean, honestly, maybe it motivates you and kind of gets you really going, but you're smiling, so I guess it's okay. You don't fall asleep at work too much.
No, I don't.
Okay.
No.
If you fall asleep while running, Bill, someone's getting hurt.
No, running, yeah, but no, after she practices or gets out and runs, in fact, that's what I want to find out about. How do you set up, do you set up the actual course? Now, this is, 100 miles, right?
Yeah, so it's about 184 miles for the full week.
Oh, my gosh,
so,
it's worse.
So each day, again, it's like the 26, 28, 30 distance. So we have that route ahead of time. The van that runs in front of us has the route, and myself and the other runners will follow the van that drives the course. Again, we work with the different municipalities, and the local law enforcement sometimes comes out and helps us along the way. So yes, we do have to put that all together.
And I don't mean this as a joke because of the other question, but I've read like on some races, I mean, there has to be time if it's that long, because that's going to be what if you run 100 miles, even if you go 4 miles an hour, which would be, I think, pretty quick. This has to be some sleep time. So do you get a break to go in the van, or at least some
so
kind
we
of rest?
go home at the end of each day. So we start, each day, let's say at 11, and sometimes we finish at 6 or 7, because some days are longer. They're 7, 8 hours, anywhere from 6 to 8 hours, because we make a lot of stops. Then at the end of the day, wherever we finish on Long Island, we all go home to our homes, and then we meet up again the next morning to start the next day.
Oh, okay. So
Yes.
you do allow for sleep.
Yes, we do.
See, I'm worried about it. I want to make sure you're well taken care of.
You are listening to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Matt Leonard, along with Bill Horan, and today you are meeting Long Island resident E.V.A. Casale, who is an ultra-marathon runner who has run long distances consecutively for days. She is the creator of Team E.V.A., that's E.V.A., which stands for Every Veteran Appreciated, which raises funds and awareness for our troops, our veterans, and our fallen heroes. E.V.A., I'm just curious. You mentioned a van drives along with the marathoners, correct?
Yes.
That made me think about, let's say, God forbid, somebody were to slip and fall in the sleet or the rain and someone gets hurt. Is there some kind of paramedic or medical staff there just in case of a safety issue of some kind?
We always have some sort of law enforcement with us at the time that we're running. There is somebody usually with us. So the van is there for the runners. I'm the one that runs the full distance. Other members of the team jump in and out of the van, and they take turns running with me, along with other runners who can come at any time. So we set it up so the last 5K runners can join for pretty much an out and back type of a run that can be part of the participate in the event. So that's why the van is there. Also, in case they want to run it, they want to jump in and out of the van too. If they want to just do the last half mile, they can drive along in the van and then come out for the last half mile as well.
That's fantastic. So really anyone can really get involved, no matter what their, running ability or endurance really is.
Yeah, so we set it up in such a way where, again, it's not a race, it's a journey. It's a journey to support those who have provided our freedom. And we make sure, that we keep a slow enough pace that everyone can join in. And I can gauge the pace of everyone, pretty much everyone with us, and I make sure that we all stay together as a group.
Matt, while you were asking that question again, and Eva comes across very nice, very kind. The work she's doing, very sweet. But I can just see her out there running, going, let's go, Wimps. Get those legs up. Get them moving. Come on, let's go. And, and here we are. And that would be me after the first mile going, 99 miles to go. I got to keep going on this. And she's yelling at me already. So, Eva, it's wonderful what you do. And by the way, do all the runners get one of those cool sweatshirts like you're wearing?
We give the runners who participate a T-shirt that come out and run with us, and there's also a challenge coin that we give them as well.
Because that's a nice looking sweatshirt you have on. It says Team E.V.A. And then what does it say under there? Every veteran appreciated, E.V.A. Nice way you put that together. When you're doing these runs, does the money go to any other charities for the veterans or perimeter charities, or is it just one veteran charity that the money goes to?
We've given the money to different charities on Long Island. So each year we are in the process now of dispersing some of those funds, so they will go out more in the next few months.
And by the way, after all the kidding, and you've been nice to put up with me, I want to offer you a chance. Suppose there's people listening and saying, hey, look, like maybe I'm not really a runner, or I'd like to do part of this, but I do want to help. I want to be part of this, and they like what you're saying. Is there room in there for them to volunteer? Do you need some help with some of these events?
Yes, we can always use volunteers. We can always use people to come out and support in different areas. There is a volunteer section and a donation section on goteameva.org that they can look at, and we would love to have more people come out and help us.
So anybody out there, you're looking for a good cause, you want to help some veterans and help Team E.V.A., this is a great opportunity. And once again, before the end of the show, we'll ask you to give that information. So if you didn't write it down, quick, run and get a pencil and get that down.
Can you give us what you would say is the most meaningful moment you have had as a part of Team E.V.A since the beginning?
There's been actually quite a few. This year, we added a new location to one of our routes where we stop at the Warrior Ranch in Calverton. This was the first time that we went there, and Eileen Shanahan and her team were so welcoming with the ceremony that they provided for us when we came through, and they explained to us about their mission. And, I think that's really what it's about, is that all of these veteran organizations, we collaborate together for the same cause, to bring awareness and always remember and never forget. And I think that was very meaningful this year. And we will, again, of course, include the Warrior Ranch in our route in April.
Now, if there's somebody out there who is either a high school, college runner, or just, I want to say a regular person, living their life, and they hear this, is this a year commitment, or is it do people join up for one race or 10, or is it optional, like they could do it once a month or once a year?
They can come out whenever they want. We actually have a one-day marathon that we do on Veterans Day each year, so that's coming up this year. You can come out and run with us. The information is on the website. You can run as many miles as you want. We do have the end set up as a 5K if you want to just do the 5K. We set it up, so we bring you right back to your car, and we do stop at 3 or 4 points of honor along the way, so they understand what the mission is and they can be involved, or they can just spectate as part of the mission. And then for the 7-day, you can register and you can come out and run one day, or you can come out and run 4, 5, 6, 2 days, whatever you like. So that's how we set it up. For a donation on the 7-day, the registration, again, it's just one fee. You can come and run as often as you want. We give out challenge coins and T-shirts to those who help, bring our mission across Long Island.
Well, thank you. And it sounds like you really have something for everybody. Mm-hmm. So even the worst of the worst, like Matt and myself, we could probably find some role in your organization.
Yes.
All right.
Everyone can find a role.
Matt?
Thank you so much, Bill. I'm the worst of the worst. I appreciate it. I love working with you, too,
Well,
Bill.
I
Thank you.
I grouped you together. We are the worst of the worst, not just
yes,
you or me.
Of course. I mean, they're going to want to listen to us so much more now.
I'm trying to get out of this, but you're getting me deeper and deeper.
What is one thing you want to leave with our audience when it comes to Team E.V.A?
I just think it's important that, our organization is, we raise money and funds, but it's also about the awareness and the remembrance of those who serve our country. And that's really what we try to do, is bring awareness. And we put together this 7-day format because it does do that, because people do hear about us day after day. They're doing the 3rd day, they're doing the 4th day, they're doing the 5th day. And the format really brings a full week of awareness. We call it Team Every Veteran Appreciated Week when we do this, and that's how we promote it. And I think it's just important that, we don't just remember our veterans for 1 week, but we remember them all the time.
And the website, real quick?
Is goteameva.org.
E.V.A. Casale, we want to thank you, and to our audience, as you've been listening to her, E.V.A. is an ultra-marathon runner. She's run long distances for consecutive days. She's the creator of Team E.V.A., E.V.A., which stands for Every Veteran Appreciated. We appreciate you taking time to speak with us today and putting up with our jokes and humor. E.V.A., thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Bill Horan. I'm here with Matt Leonard. We thank you for listening to this week's special edition of My Hometown.
We like to get your feedback on My Hometown. Send your comments to WHPC at ncc.edu. Nassau Community College, where success starts and continues. Till next time, this is Bill St. James. And remember, there's no town like your hometown.